Hello, and welcome to MovieSong.
The city sweat American music. There was Stax and Son, and a nightly wail on Beale Street. The names were woven into legend. W.C. Handy and Memphis Minnie, Rufus Thomas, David Porter, Isaac Hayes, and a house band named Booker T and the MGs. That sound and that beat etched its groove on the world, and the pioneers passed the tools to those that made the next shoe drop. You see, the year was 2005, and the city's great river carried an ache that flows through every human heart. The men of Stax made the soundtrack, the theme song tuned to a pimp, and Terrence Howard became a star. Everybody's gotta have a dream, and to make it in Memphis,
You gotta hustle and flow.
with Terrence Howard, Taryn Manning, Anthony Anderson, Taraji P. Henson, Paula Ja Parker, Elise Neal, DJ Qualls, Isaac Hayes, and Ludacris. Produced by Stephanie Allain and John Singleton. Directed by Craig Brewer.
Rich, I got a lot out of this movie. So, in a nutshell, give me the essence and the plot of Hustle and Flow.
You got a pimp and a prostitute riding around in a car looking for their next trick. And Terrence Howard is playing DJ. He's the pimp.
But people like you and me, man, we always guess, wonder, what if, you know what I mean?
And Taryn Manning is Nola. She's the prostitute.
DJ is having a crisis with the life that he and Nola have, and so he's ruminating on the fact that there has to be something more.
So when you say to me, hey, I don't think we should be doing this, I got to say, baby, I don't think we need to be doing this neither.
It gets to the point where he finally asks Nola, like, what do you want to do with your life?
I don't know.
The entire movie plays against the backdrop of Memphis, the legacy of Memphis, the history of Memphis, and the music of Memphis, as well as this milieu that all of the characters in the movie live in.
Pull that shit again, nigga. Put your ass to hell.
I got a last year. It's like, oh, but the performances are so good and so sincere. There's not a false note in it.
From the start.
And it draws you in.
Many of us have lived adjacent to situations like this, but there's a great difference between stepping over the junkie on the way to your apartment and seeing the pimp, the prostitute, and the John disappear behind a closed door and actually going on the other side of that door.
So along the way, you hear about Skinny Black, and he's played by Ludacris, and he made it out of Memphis as a hip-hop artist. But now he's coming back to town for some event.
Come on, Skinny Black. Skinny Black.
Yeah, I know who Skinny is, man. I know Skinny from way back in the day.
And so DJ thinks, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make hip-hop songs. I'm going to get that tape to Skinny Black.
Let's talk about the cast. Of course, it starts with Terrence Howard as DJ.
Yeah. And John Singleton and Craig Brewer, they're like, Terrence Howard has got to play this part.
This guy gets the right role and the right shot. He's going to be indelible.
I don't know how or what or why they saw that, but they picked the right guy.
He had a hunger that mirrored DJ, the character he played.
What do you want?
I don't know.
Tell me what the fuck you want to do.
Not this, D.
DJ sees the possibility of change for himself. And he also sees that possibility of change for the girls that are around him that basically he's exploiting.
You know, bitch like you, man, you need to have on one of them suits. Get your mobile phone and shit, get an ear jack. Man, you gonna feel different, man.
It's that saving grace of involving other people in your project and believing in them that gives them the idea that they could do it too. Taryn Manning plays Nola.
And she's got this long braided hair. She's this white girl on the black scene. She's riding around in the car, and you believe her out of the gate.
Hey, I really like your hair.
She has two major scenes in the film, and it's the opening scene,
Yes.
and it's the scene where DJ sells her out for a microphone.
And can't you cut me some type of break on this stuff here? What you looking at, man? Just like you say, man, you want quality, you got to pay for that.
It's a hard scene, but you wonder, hasn't this happened before?
DJ's set on pursuing music and runs into Key, an old friend played by Anthony Anderson.
You used to spin them little records at the after-school joint.
So he runs into him, follows up, he seeks him out, finds his house. He brings two of his hoes there. So Key is living the straight life. He's got a wife, he's got a job, and DJ is like, we're going to make this hip-hop tape and we're going to get it to Skinny Black. And Key is like, see you in church.
I told Jesus it would be alright.
So Key decides that he's going to make this tape with DJ.
Right, they're going to
So
they set up a studio.
They set up a studio at DJ's place.
And all of a sudden, Shelby shows up, played by DJ Qualls.
You got a power strip?
Oh, we can. I'll listen.
And DJ's like,
You know he white, right?
No.
So Shelby just completely ignores the whole racial thing, that he's out of place.
It doesn't even cross
his mind. Right. He's there to make music, and very quickly, everybody really just forgets that he's the white guy. And then they get to the point in one of the songs, It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp, actually, where they need a hook, and they need a female voice. And that's where we learn something about Shug, played by Taraji P. Henson. She's a prostitute on maternity leave.
She's younger than a house mother.
She's very emotionally acute. She knows what's going on between all the characters. She really has a feel.
For whatever reason, they know or they think she can do this.
She can do it, yeah.
Right? So they call her in to sing this hook. And every movie about making music is going to have this, where it's like, hey, we're sounding pretty good. You should do that.
Now, I suck. But I'm going to sing it with you until you get it down, all right?
So they bring her in, and she starts to do it, and she can do it. And we start to realize she can do it. And then she hears herself.
And of course, there's an end game to this whole thing, and that's to get this tape that they've all been working on and bringing in all these players to Skinny Black. And Skinny Black is played by Ludacris, and Ludacris knows very well how to play a rapper.
Yeah. And I was impressed. I mean, it's not a flattering character by the end of things, but he does it. And then, the whole setup is that DJ knows Skinny Black. Or does he?
Could it be the one, the goddamn only? Get it? Is that you?
Rich, the whole movie is so steeped in Memphis that it just couldn't have happened without an appearance from Isaac Hayes, who plays Arnell, who's the conduit between DJ and Skinny Black.
All that boy gotta do is just play the damn thing, and it's gonna be undeniable, man.
And it's a very interesting conduit because just as the music in the movie, the new music in the movie, is a descendant of really everything that happened at Stax Records, the movie itself is a descendant of blaxploitation, most notably Shaft, directed by Gordon Parks. And Isaac Hayes is the perfect bridge. Because early in his career, he was a session player at Stax, and then he also, later in his career, wrote the soundtrack for Shaft. So, Rich, I always love talking producer-director. Let's talk a little bit of producer-director here. Craig Brewer both wrote and directed the film.
It, yeah. I mean, he's like going in and out of Memphis. I mean, I don't know how he lived there or whatever, but he's got his camcorder and he's making these little movies and he's involving whoever he can. Whoever will say yes, want to be in a movie?
And so throughout this process, he's meeting the rappers, he's meeting the blues cats, and he becomes very, very comfortable with this world. He takes the script to Stephanie Elaine, who presents it to John Singleton, and Singleton recognizes right away that Craig Brewer is not an interloper here. He understands this milieu. He's got a work ethic.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like the movie itself. He's white, right? And we're talking about Shelby.
And I believe this, man. Rap is coming back home to the South.
So there's many, many original songs on the soundtrack that play throughout the movie.
3 probably bubble up.
Well, obviously, It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp. 3 6 Mafia had done a song for producer John Singleton in a prior production, and through conversations about this Pimp song that both Brewer and Singleton needed and didn't have yet, 3 6 Mafia played some tracks that they had.
Right, like we got this.
And very, very quickly, Fraser Boy, who was working with 3 6 Mafia at the time, came up with the refrain. It's hard out here for a pimp. And now we get to Al Capone.
He's a guy that's selling his CDs like out of his trunk, at drive-in movie theaters, in stores, at picnics, any way he can.
So he hears they're making a movie. It's like John Singleton, and how do I get in on that?
Craig Brewer.
And it's like, it starts to mimic the story that's being told in the movie. I'm going to get my stuff to this guy. What about me? How do I get in on this action? I write songs, and they're like, well, give us a song tomorrow. And he does.
He gives him It Ain't Over.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
And then John Singleton goes, you got anything else? And he goes, yeah, I got this song called
Whoop That Trick. And that kind of becomes the centerpiece for like them realizing, hey, we can actually do this.
And with that, Rich, let's go to the Academy Awards.
All right, here we go. Hustle and Flow, It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp. Music and lyrics by Jordan Houston, Cedric Coleman, and Paul Beauregard. Crash, In the Deep. Music by Kathleen Bird York and Michael Becker. Lyrics by Kathleen Bird York.
Shed your pride and you climb the hill.
Then we got Transamerica, Traveling Through. Music and lyrics by Dolly Parton.
I'm just traveling, traveling, traveling. I'm just traveling through.
And now for the winners.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Whoa! Well, they definitely deserved it.
Yeah.
Wonderful for the city of Memphis.
Good songwriting.
Great for 3-6 Mafia.
Song. Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun to see him receive the award, actually.
Oscars, yeah.
And next time, we're going to be bringing you a movie from the 2010s.
2010s. What's it going to be? I don't know. Follow, subscribe.
You know the drill.
Yeah.
And
that's
it from
MovieSong.
MovieSong.